Hi everyone, my name is Shantasia. Welcome to my channel. Today I wanted to go over my bi-monthly goals completed for last month and then the new ones that I have made for May and June. And I had originally seen this idea on YouTube. It intrigued me because I have always had monthly goals, but I can't tell you one time when I actually accomplished those goals. So I decided to try the bi-monthly goals, and I really was surprised at how well they worked. 6-month goals seem to be too long. I do a 6-month goal and a yearly overview kind of at the beginning of the year. But to actually accomplish those big goals that are on those 6-month and 12-month goal lists, I really discovered that the bi-monthly goals was the best way for me to do it. So I try to keep them simple. A lot of times my bi-monthly goals will only include things that are on my author platform, anything that's a creative endeavor. Those are the things that are going to show up on there. So anything regarding my business, my photography, any art projects, seminars that I want to attend, things that I really need to get done. If there is a personal goal on here, it's usually something that's pretty important, either something I feel I'm going to forget or something that I have been intending to do on my personal goals list and it just has not gotten done. Because I really don't reference my personal goals very often. A lot of times I'm mainly focused on my creative goals. So with that being said, I'm going to jump right in and we'll do the March and April goals. So I had moved to Texas, and I can give myself a big fat check mark for this one. My sister and I moved from Minnesota to Texas on March 7th. So we've been here for roughly 2 months now, give or take a few days, and we're really loving it. It has been a very good change for us. The thing that I really enjoy is that here in Texas there seems to be a spotlight more on writing. So there is a very large writing community in this little tiny town that I live in, and as a whole I've noticed that there are a lot of things going on in Texas that are regarding writing, like workshops and things like that. Now in Minnesota, where I was from, it kind of was like a desert for writing things because everything is more visual. It's beautiful, and the lakes and the wildlife and all the things that you can do in the outdoors in Minnesota. So there's a lot of emphasis on photography groups and workshops and things like that. So I'm very excited to get the opportunity to try out more of a writerly path, because that has always been my goal since I was 8 years old, and I feel like I'm right in the hub of it, that there's all these things that are going on and it's just up to me to decide what I'm going to do and if I'm going to join in, and I'm definitely joining in. So I have also to study my word for 2018, which was serene, and this has been on my goals list since December, I think. So I was very happy to get that accomplished. I took about an afternoon or so to study it. I looked at it in Hebrew and did a word study on it in the scriptures, and I also looked at the definitions and just kind of thought about how I wanted to apply that to my year. If you know me, you'll know that I am very goal orientated, but I get lost a lot in the drama and the stress of everyday life. So this word was important for me to choose because it reminds me that even though life is blowing us all over the place and we have responsibilities and things that have to be done, that you can still remain looking at the world calmly, with calm eyes, living with gentle hands, having an inner peace, and being grounded in who you are and your faith and family and things like that, and not being so ruffled and buffeted by the bad things that happen or the deadlines and things like that. So I'm really looking forward to looking at my year in review, and I usually do that at the end of like December, and just seeing what my difference is in my mindset throughout the year, because this would be the first time that I have ever chosen a word. And so far I'm kind of thinking that it really has been helpful to just have that kind of in the back of my mind, that I want to focus on being serene and having that inner peace instead of being so crazy and stressed out on the inside all the time. So we'll see what happens. It'll be interesting to see when the new year runs around. The next thing I wanted to do was I wanted to reevaluate my goals and desires for my small business, Tia Essence Photography and Arts. I have been running this business for roughly 8 years, and it really hasn't been everything that I've wanted it to be. For some reason, I just keep getting blocked. I can't get my products out in front of the right people, and I'm not very good at marketing and things like that. And so I've become very disillusioned and frustrated by the whole process of being a small business owner. So I really wanted to look at it because with me moving to Texas, I have the opportunity to close the business down and reopen a new one, or I can transfer the business from here, from Minnesota to here. So I really wanted to make sure that I knew what I wanted to do with that. And I actually did decide that I wanted to keep the company open. I've been working on rebranding, restructuring how I do things, looking at the products that I offer and deciding if there are things that I really want to offer at all. Being more true to my vision of my business, not just trying to cater to people and have them have something to offer them. I would more like to have people coming to me instead of me chasing my customer all the time. So I just kind of wanting to be more genuine within my company and the goals and the plans and the products and the marketing and the things that I'm doing with it so that I can actually be proud of it. The next thing that I needed to do was I wanted to write 10,000 words on the first book of the Ethereal Chronicles called Ethereal Rising. And this is a book that I am co-authoring with my sister. And we are roughly about 50,000 words into that novel, but we're hoping to have 100,000 or more. I don't know. We'll see what happens with it. But we definitely, even at 50,000 words, we're probably only halfway into the story. So we definitely need to keep going. But I did not do this. I think I pulled my computer out 4 times in 2 months, which was like, woohoo, a serious try, right? But I didn't do anything about it, so I did fail that one. And then I also wanted to apply for every job that I find because in 2 months we are jobless, both my sister and we are frantically trying to find something to do. It is fun to have the free time, but it's also stressful to not be able to meet your needs when you need to meet them. So I'm just gonna keep applying, but hopefully I'll be getting some phone calls for them soon. I don't know, because there's like 200 applications out there, so if I applied with you, you should probably call me. I wanted to complete my Tia Essence website and have it go live, and I did this. I worked on it very hard last month. Got the basic bones and the structure of the way I wanted the website to look throughout the month of March, but then in April I really focused on what I was putting on there. So I finally got that done. I've got my shop there. I will link all that in the description box below. And I also wanted to get my Etsy shop back in tip-top shape, and I did this. My shop has always been kind of, it looks nice, but it could look better, and I just haven't had the time to do that, but I really had focused last month on getting it done, getting the pictures taken, getting the product descriptions written up, working on my SEO, which is something that I'm still learning about, and so I worked really hard on that, and I'm really happy with how my shop looks. I also said I would go on 2 artist dates, and I accomplished this as well. So I went to a friend's house and house sat for her for about a week and a half, and during that time I really spent it creating. I was doing my junk journaling projects. I learned about artist trading cards and started working on artist trading cards. I was working on reevaluating all of the books that I have been working on since I was 13 and just kind of looking at where they were, if they were still viable ideas, and if I wanted to continue to pursue them, how much would I have to put into it, what were my next steps into pursuing the story. So I spent a lot of really good quality time with myself, thinking about my company, thinking about my writing, thinking about my photography, working on all of those things as well. And I also spent a lot of time outside, just in quiet reflection, hanging out, relaxing, kind of regrouping. So it was really nice and refreshing. I have gone on retreats before, and I've always loved them because I love that time of introspection, and you just have there's like no time to be worried about anything, because all you're doing is you're living in the now and you're enjoying the things that you enjoy in those moments, and it's really nice. So if you haven't gone on one, I would say at least go on an afternoon retreat where you just go off somewhere by yourself and just relax and rest and be alone and refresh yourself. The second one that I did was I went to the Traveling Wall That Heals when it came through, and that was incredible. That was a very neat experience. Seeing the Vietnam War Memorial has been on my to-do list for many years, and I still hope to do that, but it was still incredibly moving to see, because they bring it to your community and then they put a spotlight on the community members that were involved, and you get to see how it affects a community and how it affects a town, as opposed to just going and seeing how it would affect like a mass amount of people. You get to see it like on a smaller scale. So I really enjoyed that, and I was really thankful that I was able to go. I did have one private thing on here, and I did accomplish that as well. So I did all of them except for one, my 10,000 words, which is probably the most important one on the whole list, but I'm not going to kick myself about it. I'm just going to move on, right? So my May and June bi-monthly goals are to host 2 giveaways on our TL Gabriel platform on Instagram, to write 10,000 words on Ethereal Rising, to complete the TL Gabriel website and have it go live, to create 2 free writing worksheets or assisting type of documents for writers to put on our website, to join the local writing club. I'm going to continue applying for every job that I can find. Another thing that I've been wanting to do is open a publishing company, and my sister and I have decided that we are going to self-publish the Ethereum Chronicles, just because of the genre. It's like a weird genre. It's like Christian science fiction almost, but not really Christian, because we are Sabbath keepers, so that makes us different. So I'm not sure that we'd fit in the Christian publishing industry, or if we would, and we're not going to fit in the secular, so we're just like, whatever. We're creating a genre, we're just going to do it ourselves. So in that light, and with my desire that I would like to eventually publish others, we have decided to start a publishing company. So my homework for that for the next 2 months is to choose a name and to begin filling out the appropriate paperwork so we can start establishing this. I want to record 10 YouTube videos, and as a new YouTuber, that probably is really big. It feels really big, but I'm going to go for it. Hopefully I'll be able to do that. I figure that's roughly about a video a week, which is kind of what I'm aiming for right now. I also want to take myself on 2 artist dates, and I want to register for a local writers workshop that's taking place in Midland, Texas. Then I have one personal goal on here because it's been on my list for probably 2 months, and I really feel like I need to get it done. So that is all I have for you today. I hope that you take the opportunity to set goals for yourself and work them out in small chunks so that you don't get overwhelmed by the big picture. If you would like, you can hit the little subscribe button and the bell so that you know whenever I upload new videos, and you can check out all of my online platforms down below. Thank you so much and have a great day.